This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at the Mason Jar Event Group, who believe in bringing people together and creating community through shared experiences and joyous occasions. Learn more over at masonjareventgroup.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Wednesday, March 20th, 2019, and you're tuned in to episode 689 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Jay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We kick off today's news with a great story by Marijuana Moment's Kyle Yeager about a bipartisan marijuana banking bill that's been scheduled for a vote next week before the U.S. House Financial Services Committee. The so-called Safe Banking Act would afford banks, credit unions, and other financial institutions protections from federal persecution for being involved with state legal marijuana business. The proposed legislation has 138 total co-sponsors, or around a quarter of the entire U.S. House. Kyle has a detailed write-up on this one that I would direct you over to. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Yesterday, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy gave an update on how things are going in his state for the prospects of legalizing adult use marijuana this year. We've been all over this one as the New Jersey State House and Assembly both just saw committees approve adult use, sending legalization bills to the floors of their respective legislative bodies, but the question on whether there are enough votes there to pass is still up in the air. Governor Murphy, who came into office saying he wanted to legalize adult use, was speaking during a news conference yesterday, and when asked about the cannabis legislation, said, quote, "We're working the phones hard. We all have to pull our weight. I have no reason to believe we all are not, but it's going to be an all-in," unquote. The bills will need to go up for a final vote by Monday if they are to pass this session, so we'll likely be chiming back in on this with an update next week. With our final top story this fine Wednesday, we swing out to Arizona, where yesterday the state Supreme Court heard arguments over a case involving medical marijuana and the rights of patients to use it in non-flower form. Regular listeners might remember that Arizona has been embroiled in a bit of a legal fight over the state legality of medical marijuana in concentrated form. Back in 2013, medical marijuana patient Rodney Jones was arrested by police in Yavapai County for having small amounts of marijuana concentrates. Mr. Jones sued the county after his arrest, saying that he was allowed as a medical marijuana patient to use processed forms of marijuana. Yavapai County is arguing, on the other hand, that anything other than just straight flower is illegal. According to reports by the Daily Courier, state Supreme Court justices seem skeptical about some of the arguments raised by Yavapai County lawyers, but it will be a while yet before they issue their ruling, so we'll just need to keep watching, as the decision will likely set precedent on the broader issue of the legality of processed forms of cannabis. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, the Mason Jar Event Group, which believes in bringing people together and creating community through shared experiences and joyous occasions. Kendall Norris and her team of planning pros over at Mason Jar Event Group are there to help you pull off whatever legal marijuana event you have on your calendar. They're not only great at overseeing every detail necessary to land a great event, but they also have the specialized industry know-how for incorporating cannabis into things. So they should be your go-to agency for legal marijuana event planning. Learn more about their services and their own specialized events, including the upcoming Yoga with a View Cannabis Pairing Brunch and Marketplace on December 20th in Denver's Space Gallery over at masonjareventgroup.com. That's masonjareventgroup.com. All right, time for the Blitz. Jumping back to New Jersey for a headline, we have Democratic State Senator Ronald L. Rice bringing up the idea of splitting the issues of social justice-related marijuana crimes expungement from the process of setting up a taxed and regulated sales system. There's a lot of work going on in the state legislature on various cannabis and expungement-related bills, and Rice asked in comments to a reporter from Insider NJ yesterday, quote, "Why don't we work on social justice before authorizing people to try to make money?" Unquote. It's not a bad question. Kyle Yeager has another story up today that needs a click over and read, as it nicely details guidance the U.S. Postal Service issued this week about the legalities of hemp-derived CBD products delivered through the mail. Like nearly all things having to do with CBD these days, the issue isn't super clear, as the Postal Service's advisory states, quote, "Some CBD products derived from industrial hemp can be mailable under specific conditions," unquote. Pop over to Kyle's piece on Marijuana Moment for the full rundown on those specific conditions. Florida's WTSP looked at the situation in their state involving the just passed law allowing medical marijuana patients to smoke their medicine. As I mentioned when first reporting on this one, it's going to be a little while before patients will see flower on the shelves of their local dispensaries on a regular basis, and WTSP nicely dove into all the details for why. If you want a full handle on how things are rolling out in the Sunshine State for smokable cannabis, maybe not a bad one to open up. Yesterday in Oklahoma, a lawsuit was filed against the State Department of Health, claiming that the medical marijuana bill signed into law over the weekend by Governor Kevin Stitt, known as the Unity Bill, is unconstitutional. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of Oklahoma City dispensary owner by Julie Easel, a former health department attorney who resigned last summer in a somewhat bizarre and still pending case involving fake threats Miss Easel is said to have sent herself. The lawsuit seeks an injunction on the implementation of the Unity Bill and claims that the powers it gives the State Department of Health are too broad. 1, 2, 3 headlines for Kyle Yeager today, who picked up on news out of Hawaii that 2 state Senate committees approved a bill yesterday to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. The bill, which removes criminal penalties for having 3 grams of cannabis or less, was approved yesterday first by the Hawaiian State Senate Judiciary Committee and then later in the day by the Public Safety, Intergovernmental, and Military Affairs Committee. The bill will now be taken up by the Senate at large. Leafly's Randy Drewson has a great article up about a study recently announced up in Canada that will use retired hockey players to test the efficacy of CBD-based medical marijuana, but that will leave untouched the entire realm of THC. Randy's story looks at that whole storyline with the framing of asking why. Why do we focus so much on the medical powers of CBD but not THC? A good one to read. And finally for today, New Cannabis Ventures is reporting on a Canadian medical marijuana company that will soon start up construction on a 780,000 square foot cultivation facility. To be honest, that's not all that newsworthy these days, but what makes the just announced project by marijuana company Eve & Co. special is their financing partner. That's the Royal Bank of Canada, which is as old school established money as it gets. If you want a preview of how U.S. banks will eventually deal with legal cannabis, take a look here. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, the Mason Jar Event Group, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with Marijuana Today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.